Shout outs to the next company, the big homie, the one and only Amazon. Amazon's done pretty good. A lot of people were sleeping on this stock just a second ago. Like it was at 200. Now it's at 270, I believe, or
Nobody,
260.
nobody
But
was
people were,
sleeping on it. They saw the
yeah,
capex that the people was talking about, and they
they
sold.
got scared.
They got swindled.
They got swindled. They got the banana in the tailpipe.
Yeah, it's a
But
it's a
that's how the people
feature.
be.
It's a feature,
So
not a
when
bug. Yeah.
exactly. So when we look at revenue, we got 70% year over year, 181 billion. Guys, remember I just said that it was 3 billion for Google. Yeah, Amazon's at 4.3 billion beat. 4.3 billion beat. Wall Street, that's why they need to retire. Like, look at that. That is, no, I'm joking. Shout outs to them. Operating margin 13%. And I want to have a talk about this because I peeped something about Amazon that most people are sleeping on. But EPS, I mean, come on, $1.13 beat. Like that is massively crazy. AWS, of course, James' favorite, right? This revenue is up 28% year over year, and operating margin is 38, down a couple percentage, but it's not a big deal. I mean, what do you think about this? 30 billion net profit. Amazon, it's not diversified according to Grok, but look at all these ventures that they're in. What do
Yeah,
you
that was the
think, Jay?
most foolish thing I've ever. I still can't believe Grok said that. Like, that's hilarious. How are you
No,
gonna
wait,
say,
Jay,
like,
it's
please tell
not
me that?
true.
No,
Truly.
it
You
wasn't
got to put the
true
true word. Yeah, yeah,
diversification.
you got it. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I see. Grok is thinking about something. Like, honestly, Grok is not thinking. But the truth be told, like, there
Yeah,
is there
exactly.
is no there is no tangible or even semi-virtual relation between a grocery store and Twitch. I think everybody can agree with that. I don't think you need to know
Yeah.
rocket science to realize that these are very diverse like positions. If you own shares in Whole Foods and shares in Twitch, okay? It's also very diverse if you have shares in, I don't know, Amazon.com, right? And shares in, let's say, uh, uh, what's it called? What the AWS, like I was saying, okay? So if you understand this, then it doesn't really matter that it's all under the same corporate structure. It doesn't matter that Amazon has them all, right? Unless you just think that, like, I don't know, like some aliens going to come from outer space targeting all Amazon's corporate structures, and then laser beams are going to come from the sky and blow up anything owned by Amazon. If you think that's possible, or that's what's going to happen, then yeah, it's not true diversification because Amazon is a single point of failure, but it's completely unrealistic to think that Whole Foods has any tangible economic relation to Twitch. That's kind of silly. That's kind of dumb. They don't. If Twitch fails, it does not affect Whole Foods, probably in the slightest, except that it maybe will be better, right? Like and vice versa. So that's diversification. It doesn't really matter. My thoughts on the numbers are phenomenal. Well done, Amazon, and go to the moon. Amazon is actually a company I did not like when I was a kid for totally impractical reasons, if I'm being honest. So I didn't start
Yeah,
investing
okay,
into
got
them
you.
for until much, much later. But nevertheless, like I love them now. I'm happy. They provide great services. The world that we enjoy and live in today wouldn't be possible without Amazon anymore. It's just a reality. Some of that was artificially inflated due to COVID, but that's also reality. So I shouldn't even call it artificial. It's the world we live in.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I was like having this conversation, and I want to bring it up, but I'm gonna show y'all something. Y'all gotta stay because I'm gonna show you this funny clip. It's basically a lady who fell in love with AI. She's legitimately serious, and basically, when ChatGPT did an upgrade on the AI, right? Because we were talking about Grok being wrong. So let me hit up ChatGPT for a second. She fell in love with the AI, dead serious in love. I want to show y'all this video, right? But later on, when they upgraded it because they were getting lawsuits, right? Because of the, people were having these type of relationships and other types of relationships with Grok or ChatGPT. The AI said something funny, and I want her to say it because it'll be funny for her to say it. So I'm,
Visually
I'm gonna
good.
do that at the end of this Amazon. But one of the things I wanted to bring up right now on the list is this right here. We got Amazon, and people keep saying like, "Hey man, and I had to shout outs to, hey, look, here's where Grok helped me. So we're going to give you some points back, Grok and Gemini. So at the end of the day, it was, I used Gemini too because it gave me short, quick answers that I wanted. But I said, hey, look, how are they going to fix this? Like the retail, we're making 64 billion, but God dang, the margin on that sucks. It's like 5%, and I'm being nice. So 5%, what are we doing here? What I ended up finding, actually, I have the book now. Hold on. Here it is. Amazon Unbound, because, and that's like pause. But, anyways, Amazon Unbound, it's a book that basically explains the inner working. And they had this strategy, they call it the dragon, where they want to, you ready for this, Jay? They
Yeah.
want to take right here online stores. That's when they sell product on their digital landscape, when they sell e-commerce online. They want to change and do more third-party seller services because in third-party seller services, the margins are from 20 to 30%. But when they sell product on retail, it's only 5 plus the capital investment up front on the product and inventory, et cetera, et cetera. So what third-party seller services in an easy way is like when you have FBA, fulfilled by Amazon. You have merchants that are just normies, right? Or a company, which is a normie most likely, and they leverage Amazon and they sell products in their own storefront, right? And so when they sell the product, when they go to China and get the product or wherever they source it, right? Then they sell it on Amazon. Amazon executes that order and makes money. That is the third party seller service, right? But the margin is 20 to 30%. And if you do your due diligence, instead of talking about the damn ticker and EPS and revenue and CapEx all the time, you could find out that this is where Amazon, per their strategy in their own books, right? That they're saying, hey, if we do most of our business, let's say we do 90% of our business on third party seller service and 10% on Amazon store, that's cool because we have shifted to LAAS, which is logistics as a service. These guys got fulfilled by Amazon, where that's where they stow it like a retail storefront, and then they send the product to the actual customer that you want. Not only do
Yeah.
they do that, they also have warehouses. Third party, it used to be called 3PL. But now Amazon took that up. They bought warehouses where you don't have to go get your own storage unit. You don't have to have your product and your extra inventory at your house. You can have it at an Amazon warehouse. That's not the fulfillment center. Those are two different things. It's called AWD, the web distribution center. So that's their distribution, warehouse and distribution center that they got. They charge you on that too. They can charge you all the way from the factory in China all the way to the doorstep of the customer. Of course, they got the last mile that we know about. They charge for that. They also got customs, immigrations. They got the most containers so they can charter a fare from the sea. They have freight. They have airplanes. And they have the vans that you see in your community at the what? The 1 mile. And so that whole entire network, they leverage that. They leverage that and charge people. They're the new UPS, FedEx, and DHL. They move more product than all of those guys combined. That's how big Amazon is. They are a logistical company more so than a retail storefront. And this is the end. I'm going to land a plane here on this crazy nonsense that they're doing. Guess what they said, Jay? They said, we don't care if you're Walmart. We don't care if you're TikTok or Shopify. We will move your product to your customer. So Amazon makes money when Walmart sells product and they want to get it to their customer the next day. When TikTok sells, they make money off of the logistics. When Shopify sells, they make money off the logistics. So now they're almost saying, bro, you move any consumer product in America, we'll move it for you with our network. We don't care. It ain't got to be on our website. We ain't got to be a part of that transaction, but we'll charge you to move it. We'll make 20 to 30% margins. That is where Amazon's going to start increasing its margin. And so when it gets to let's say $1 trillion, let's say when it gets to $1 trillion on something like revenue, when it comes to commerce, if 90% of it is third party sellers, 90%, that's around $200 to $300 billion versus if they do a trillion in the Amazon store, that's only 50 billion. That's a big difference. So that margin right there, that's where the value is coming for Amazon. And most people don't even see it. They just like robots are going to be in the warehouse and that's going to make it better. I did the math on that. It's only about 5 billion on a quarterly or annual basis that they'll save. It will save them. It will be more effective. They'll be able to push more product. It helps revenue, but it won't help the bottom line. And that's okay, not by much. But this switch, this is something that Amazon already planned. From 2022, they moved from Amazon store being 80% of the revenue in retail. Now it's down to 60. And now they're slowly integrating into third-party seller services. So again, a great story across Amazon. I just wanted to add that part in there because people are missing that because they stuck in the EPS or the revenue or the profit. I had to do due diligence by reading this thick old book and then having a chat with the LLMs that were telling me Amazon also is not diversified. So what do you think about it? If there's anything else you want to add to the Amazon story and just this marvelous performance? Because let's do AWS because that's what you know when it comes to, I mean, it's not like you don't know what I just said, but I don't know nothing about the tech in AWS. And so I need you to really articulate this, Jay. What the heck? Nobody know what AWS is. Cut it out, bro. Even investors that know AWS, right? They're like market share 30%. That's all they know. And that's all I knew. So I'm there with y'all. But Jay had to school me and say, hell on, a little rookie with a fortune cookie. Listen, it's much more than that. And I'm like, how, Sway? I'm yelling at Jay. How? How? You ain't did the AWS building. I was Kanyeing on Jay.
For real.
Explain
You
that.
saw that Sway got the answer. The Sway did have the answers. You saw that? uh, so AWS, we talked about it a little before, so I won't go into the full detail, but I'll just explain a little bit about the utilization of AWS. Okay. Amazon Web Services is a service that provides people private virtual clouds, right? Virtual private clouds actually would be the correct acronym of VPC. Okay. And what that means is Amazon builds data centers and ostensibly leases them elsewhere for like other data centers. And they have what's called infrastructure as code software that basically goes out and provisions all the hardware, sets it up nicely so you can easily install a new operating system on it. You can easily load a new application onto it, and you can quick deploy, like with the click of a button in seconds, you can deploy an enterprise level server that can be a payroll system, it can be a web server, it can be it can be anything. It can be a huge database for a customer database. It can be, your HR processing system. It can be a calculator. It can be whatever you want it to be, right? In the past, you would have had to perhaps go on Amazon.com and buy a big metal brick, right? A server, install it in your house. It's heating up the room because it's getting so hot. You're paying electricity bills and cooling costs, out of the wazoo. You know what I mean? Then you have to buy a router to set it up, and you have to get a public IP from your ISP that's dedicated to it. You just have to do a ridiculous amount of things if you wanted to have your own web server or if you wanted to have your own database. The reason that people don't understand AWS is because what I just described, very few people, I'm sure even listening to this show right now, are going to have dealt with something like that. It's something that only companies deal with, only businesses deal with. Nowadays, if you want to start like a little shop, let's say you like make t-shirts or something like that, and you get a Shopify account, okay? And you just go, Shopify.com, you build your little website on Shopify, you sell your t-shirts, you sell your product. Do you want to know where that website is running? It's on AWS. So, Amazon, much like what you just said, they have two different ways that you can interact with their services. You can go directly to AWS and you can provision your little server for whatever your use case is, or you can go to one of their large customers and you can provision it from them who's just getting it from AWS. So it's analogous to the Walmart situation where you just said, you can go to Amazon.com, you can buy, DTC from an Amazon Basics or Amazon product, right? Or you can buy something from Walmart and Walmart is using Amazon to fulfill the order. It's the exact same thing, right? Amazon has been doing this already for a long time. And AWS is so significant because it's not just large businesses, it's startups, it's small, medium-sized businesses, small businesses, it's, Fortune 100 enterprises. Like when you're a company and you have to think about, man, we want to build a data center, billions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars to, in terms of cap and OpEx over time. And do we want to have to hire people to run these IT systems and manage it? And then we got to secure it, and then we got to find the energy, and then we got to cool it, and then we got to install our own stuff on it, and we got to keep it updated and patched. Do we want to do that? Or do we want to just pay Amazon a few $1,000s a month and then let them handle all of that? Right. We have to deal with none of the patching, none of the security, none of the system concerns. Like they have service level contracts. We don't have to do any of it, right? They're giving people computers as a service out there in the virtual cloud. And since Amazon has such a vast array of these data centers around the world now, since they have, these big data centers, like with tons of servers, reachability from everywhere is phenomenal. Connectivity and bandwidth is phenomenal. Like they had huge, leased lines from ISPs, dedicated private links into the big ISPs, the AT&Ts, the Verizons. It's all a well-oiled machine. It's a perfect system. And, that might not be significant to many of you, but literally everything you do on the internet these days, one way or another, probably touches AWS. And so even if you don't realize how integral it is to your life, it is integral. There was an estimation some years ago that about 80% of the world's web traffic was going through AWS. 80% of it.
Yeah.
80%. That's the thing that,
Yeah.
like, when you're browsing the internet, think about all of the internet traffic in the world, 80% of it is on AWS. That's significant. So,
W- Well, Jay, I gotta say that Amazon's risky bet. CEO Jeff Bezos wants to run your business with his web technology. Wall Street wishes he would just mind the store. Even they told Jeff, and this is quote unquote Business Weekly. So they do business on a weekly basis while Amazon did business on a daily basis. This is what I'm saying. This is the sentiment when you do something new. Shout outs to Robert D. This is what Robert D wrote. 1 year AWS revenue was 21 million. Now today it makes 21 million per hour. But when he did it, when he was putting up the capex, what did they tell him? You little punk, mind the store. Look at that.
these are these are the same people that look at things like EPS and PE and CapEx to try to make a determination on the health of it.
Yeah.
Like doing that, and let me be very clear because my brother had to put me on blast. This is not financial advice. I'm telling you what I do. All right, this is what I do. Okay. Do not take this advice and then have something bad happen and come blame me. I'm not giving you any advice. I'm telling you what I do and how I think. All right. Looking at looking at those traditional, frankly antiquated metrics, I would call them for a tech company, to
Mm-hmm.
try to determine like investment decisions would be like it'd be like trying to like identify your location by looking at a globe. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't make any sense really, right? Like those metrics have some value, they have some purpose, they give you a good general idea of the health of the company, and the best metric that it gives you is just comparisons of certain markers like profitability and things versus other companies. It gives you no information, specifically for tech companies. It gives you no information in the way of should I invest or not. Like I do not make decisions. I'm not telling you what to do. I do not make decisions based on PE ratios and EPS and CapEx. Oh, the CapEx is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Like making decisions like that would have made me miss out on $21
A
million dollars an
lot.
hour, right? The 21 million a year to 21 million an hour that you just showed from the magazine. Like when you look at that, if you make decisions on those kinds of metrics, that's what you can potentially miss out on. So I laugh really sometimes when I see Wall Street predictions and Wall Street investment advice and Motley Fool. Shout out to them.
Exactly.
Shout
Big
out to them.
fool.
Like
Now